Hello there. If you don't know me, I'm Nick. I'm originally from Belarus. I'm nowadays here in Florida, not far from Miami, in Boca Raton. It's a resort city. It's a small one. I'm enjoying my August time. I'm doing some work. I'm doing some study, and I'm preparing essentially for the next academic year. I teach via Skype, so if you want to improve your English or prepare uh, for some English exams like TOEFL or IELTS or whatever, so you can contact me. I teach via Skype. Today, I've been thinking about this question that I'm going to be asked in September, in October, because many new students come at that time and they start learning English, so they want to improve it through the academic year. And normally they, and mostly not they, but rather their parents, if they're high school children, or if they are, I don't know, like girlfriends, when they visit me face to face, or when they conduct an interview with me online. So they ask me, how do you teach, essentially? So what they want to hear is what kind of person I am, and how successful I am, and in general, which methods I use in teaching. You might have noticed that I look pretty young, and despite that, I have over 8 years of experience in teaching. Yes, that's right. I've been teaching in Belarus, India for more than 2 years, and then I am developing my own teaching company here in the United States. But what I want to say is, how to answer this question? Well, when answering it, I kind of expect that the person is a bit qualified in teaching, that he or she knows some background, so he or she have heard of some I don't know, older lingual method of teaching, or communicative level of method of teaching. So if a person who doesn't possess any knowledge in the field asks you that, so it's a kind of tricky. How to explain a person who's not a professional educator how I teach? Well, to put things short, to cut to the chase, I would put it in just 3 words. It's PPP. Just present, practice, and produce. That's it. So, meaning that I create an input, and then the student somehow perceives it, takes it up, and afterwards he then understands it and practices it. So to put it short, it is a PPP model, the model of 3P. But of course, nobody is satisfied with it because it's too concise. People want some elaboration, and many teachers, for example, today deem themselves as using communicative approach. But what is communicative approach? Well, we kind of today our world is so unstable. Today, new theories and methods come one after the other, and every method is criticized either at the same time or after some time. So there are a lot of methods, and the thing is that we as teachers cannot use just one method, because we use a part of everything we heard about, and we of course base our teaching on the books, mostly by OUP, Oxford University Press. And if it is some specific exam preparation like TOEFL or IELTS, we of course use these books. but there are general like beliefs, general kind of philosophy of teaching, of course. So what is this philosophy? For me, largely, I advocate the comprehensive structure of this educational objectives by Benjamin Bloom, who developed his system in the 1950s, long before the communicative approach. And now it is known as Bloom's taxonomy. So what is it? It is again 3 points, 3 like domains or 3 areas. So one is a cognitive domain. So the thing, how we perceive information, how we this cognitive domain includes 6 points. First is knowledge, and then like the next step, I would say knowledge, and then the next step is comprehension, how you understand or take up this knowledge, and then like the next point is application, so how you can apply it, of course. And after that, the analysis comes when the student is able to look into these matters in more detail and break them into smaller patterns. Next is synthesis, and finally evaluation. So in not just my teaching, in every teaching and studying experience, there is a step-by-step path that we set off on. So we go step by step from knowledge through comprehension, and then application, and then of course analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Why all of them are important? Just reading the list of vocabulary, if you're studying vocabulary, is not going to help you. You're going to forget this vocabulary like in no time. So reading and rereading is not as fruitful, Probably we did it at school, but after doing this, there were a lot of other things, like for example, speaking at the board, or what else? It was, of course, tests, like multiple choice test, A, B, C, D options. And what else did we do at school? We made stories, we wrote essays to put all this new vocabulary into like one essay. And many other things to ensure that we can analyze, meaning like divide a big concept into smaller, more digestible chunks. And of course, synthesize data, meaning, for example, take some pieces of reading and of listening and analyze them. For example, the lecturer states that the sky is blue, whereas the passage disagrees, stating that the sky is gray. So this is how we learn. We learn by this step-by-step methods of presentation, practicing, and then producing. So that's why in Bloom's taxonomy there are 3 domains. One of them is a cognitive domain, and the second one is an affective domain. Affective, not like efficacy, but affective, I mean A-F-F-E-C-T-I-V-E. Affective, like affection, meaning has something to do with your emotions, and which emotions the learner has during the class, after the class, and overall about the whole topic, the whole, like for example, English language. If the emotions are positives, if they make a learner creative, make kind of tick So then, of course, the study will be much more successful rather than at a boring lesson which is tedious and produces negative feelings and emotions. Don't you remember yourself sitting at a desk and looking at the watch like, oh my god, it's so boring? That's how the affective domain dramatically influence our result in studies. So if you're thinking of like, okay, I have to learn it, so like my dulls, like I will do 3 hours of dull writing or dull reading. It's not gonna work. You have to deploy your emotions here. And the last domain in Bloom's taxonomy is psychomotor, meaning how you act on the knowledge and information, on the skills that you acquired. So acting matters because you can watch television. Are you going to learn anything? You can, well, of course, you can acquire a lot of information, but how is it going to help you? Well, I don't know. You can watch the Game of Thrones or any other TV series. There are so many opportunities of watching live streams. For example, you're watching this live stream right now. But how is it helpful if you're not going to act on it? If you're not going to do practice exercises on the topic, you're not going to learn. So this is how it works. So to conclude, to answer what kind of teacher I am, I would say yes, I'm a PPP teacher, meaning present, practice, and then produce. Meaning that whatever we study with a student, it's a dialogue. It's never a monologue. Right now, it's a monologue because I don't know who my watchers are. So to know you more, guys, could you please comment who you are and where you're from? I know that many of my subscribers or just people who came across this video online are from all types of backgrounds, because having worked in India, I've acquired like a long list of friends and students there, and I want to say thank you for watching and thank you for following me. And also I know that language is widely learned language, and people from Oceania through Europe and Asia, of course, to Patagonia, all are studying English first of all, because English is the future. It is the way of acquiring information. So tell me, guys, where you're from, what you do, and how you study English. Also, tell me which methods you know about, and what about your latest English teacher? What was the good and the bad, if it was bad, of course, I hope not, experience of studying the language? So thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, and also remember that sharing is caring. Cheerio.